Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video. Today, unfortunately, and I'm saying today even though this news dropped 2 days ago, I'm just now getting around to putting it out there on the channel. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Weiss, according to reports, has unfortunately caved in rather than fight back against the evil fascist Donald Trump, who majority of us unfortunately know and hate and despise. Before I get into today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to take a moment and talk about what the difference between bribery and extortion means. Because whether you guys like it or not, it's federal law, and an executive order can't change any laws by just a stroke of a pen. Let's get into it. What does bribery mean? Well, ladies and gentlemen, in federal law, or according to federal law, bribery involves offering, giving, soliciting, or receiving anything of value to influence a public official or witness in their official capacity, or to induce them to act in violation of their duty as outlined in Article 18, United States Code 201. Now moving on to extortion, ladies and gentlemen. What does extortion mean? Well, extortion means, to sum it up in bribery, the illegal QPRQ occurs when one party, often an official of the government, never mind, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to take out bribery, because we already went through bribery. Extortion in federal law means, ladies and gentlemen, often referred to as blackmail, is the act of obtaining something of value through threats or coercion, particularly the threat to reveal damaging information or to cause harm with the intent to compel compliance. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's turn over to this brand new reporting that just came out 2 days ago, and see what it all details, and figure out the explanation of why Paul Weiss, WEISS, unfortunately caved into Donald Trump's demands. This article is via Yahoo News. The article is via NBC University. Out of the New York Times, the article is titled, Law Firm Bends to Trump Demands, Agrees to $40 million in legal services to Trump causes. And ladies and gentlemen, that article reads, President Trump and the head of the law firm Paul Weiss, Rifkin, Wharton, and Garrison LLP have reached a deal under which Mr. Trump will drop the executive order he leveled against the firm. Mr. Trump said on Thursday. New York Times reporter Michael Schmidt joins Morning Joe to discuss
So, Michael, let's talk a little. Barrett has already shown that she's going to attack somewhat independently of the Trump administration. Those two votes right there could be very, very important, not only for these attacks, but for us. So, Michael, let's talk a little bit more about your reporting this morning in the New York Times, because it's so fascinating and it gets to the larger point you're just describing there, which is that Donald Trump is using these threats, these executive orders to extract concessions from private companies, from law firms, from news organizations. He dropped his executive order against this major law firm. Can you talk a little bit about the back and forth, why he first issued the executive order against that firm and others, and why now he's dropping it?
So 2 days after a federal judge says that one of these executive orders against another firm had been basically unconstitutional, Trump signs this late Friday against a law firm called Paul Weiss. Now, most people probably haven't heard of Paul Weiss, but in the legal world, they're a really big deal. And something that distinguishes them is that they're made up of a lot of Democrats, a lot of Democratic donors. Chuck Schumer's brother is a partner there. A lot of former Obama administration officials work there. The person who prepared Kamala Harris for her debate is a law partner there. So a big D firm. And there had been a widespread expectation that this firm would go to court to fight this executive order. Legal experts say there's not a lot of legal merit to what Trump did. There was a clear sign from the courts that they would knock it down. But this firm did something differently. And the head of it, a guy named Brad Karp, goes and meets directly with Donald Trump. Now, Brad Karp is someone who in 2023 helped hold fundraisers for Joe Biden. He goes and he meets with Trump in the Oval Office, and they cut a deal. And the deal basically says that the firm will commit to represent Democrats and Republicans and people of any political persuasion, and they will give $40 million in pro bono legal work to a range of causes that have been championed by Trump, including money to something that Trump last night on social media called the Presidential Task Force on Anti-Semitism. So this firm is not only agreeing to something that Trump wanted, but it's committing $40 million to these causes that mean something to Trump.
But also mean a lot to a lot of Americans. $40 million in pro bono work for anti-Semitism, to fight anti-Semitism. $40 million in pro bono work for veterans as well. Tell me though, also, there's an interesting twist at the end of your story, and that is that a law firm, a major law firm, and you said one of the few law firms that represented Donald Trump and people associated with Donald Trump, actually stepped into the fray after Paul Weiss got attacked and said, we will represent you against the president. And I'm wondering, did that get things moving towards a settlement after Donald Trump and his administration saw that the one huge law firm that had been on their side actually sided not only with Paul Weiss, but also the federal judge in Washington who said this is a chilling thing to do to attorneys?
So this law firm called Quinn Emanuel is run by a guy named Bill Burke, who is the outside legal ethics advisor for the Trump organization. He helped Trump administration officials through their confirmation process. He agreed to help Paul Weiss sue the Trump administration if they were not able to reach a deal. And if that had happened, it would have been a big shift in this story, because it would have been a sign from the law firms that they were willing to take on Trump. And it's not just any law firm.
Which, by the way, may be one of the reasons why we're looking at Paul Weiss settling. Also may be one of the reasons why the Trump administration wanted to settle, right?
It would have brought them into contact and into conflict with big law in a way that would have allowed other firms to coalesce around this. The thing about the law firms you have to remember is that this has been going on for over 2 weeks now, and the law firms have been going back and forth about whether they're going to file an amicus brief. They still haven't filed an amicus brief in this. They've gone back and forth about whether they're going to put out a statement together. They still haven't done that. So big law itself has been quiet. And if Quinn Emanuel and Bill Burke had stepped in and had sued the administration, it would have changed that, and it would have brought the law firms into direct conflict with Trump.
So it's in the best interest of everybody to settle this thing. Because Caddy, it's just like federal judges. I was told back in 2017 when the Washington state federal judge was attacked by Donald Trump, who had tweeted out the so-called judge, talked to the Federalist Society judge, a very conservative judge, who said an attack against one judge is seen as attack against all judges. I think here what we're seeing in Michael's story is an attack against one law firm is seen as an attack against all law firms.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the universities. What's happening with Columbia and Penn right now, other universities are watching, and it's a bit to what Michael was saying. They don't have to use criminal law. There are other levers that they can use in order to have a chilling effect. But Josh, I was speaking with a former Democratic Congresswoman just last night who was saying this is like she described it as a probing attack to see what the opponent's defenses look like. And she made the point that it doesn't seem like there are any penalties for the administration doing what they're doing. And what they're doing, what Michael has just described, is not illegal. What they're doing with the universities is not illegal. So but it does have this chilling effect. Is there any risk, legal jeopardy to the White House in what it's doing?
Well, I mean, there's one thing here, which is there are 9 very important people that are watching this all play out. And a lot of these fights, if they are not settled, are going to end up at the Supreme Court. And people I've been talking to in the legal community think things like going after the big law firms, for example, along with the words that Trump and even officials like the Attorney General have been using about the Judge James Browsberg, is just not going to sit very well with, for example, Chief Justice John Roberts, and perhaps even with other justices of the Supreme Court. Amy Coney Barrett has already shown that she's going to attack somewhat independently of the Trump administration. Those 2 votes right there could be very, very important, not only for these attacks, but for other Trump policies that will be coming to the court in rapid fire succession over the course of the next few months. And so a lot of people that I talk to, judges, for example, say they think this is ultimately counterproductive. It's setting up sort of mood music and an atmosphere that is not going to be helpful for Trump in terms of his agenda at the Supreme Court or in finding the 5 votes that he needs to make sure that his policies go forward.
Senior legal affairs reporter at Politico, Josh Gerstein, thank you very much for your reporting this morning. And New York Times investigative reporter Michael Schmidt, thank you as well. Time now for a quick look.
By the way, Michael, that was Lemire actually texted me your story last night.
Taking you behind the scenes here.
And I will tell, no, I'm just saying, that's just one of those stories. You're like, oh my God, is this is really happening? And then you did that 0 Day movie, which was really a great movie. This is a movie too. I mean, and again, you kind of bury the lead at the very end that you actually saw a law firm that had defended Donald Trump and had been one of the few that actually got out there. We're like, wait a second. They were rolling up their sleeves saying, all right, Democratic law firm, we may not agree with you on a lot of stuff, but we're going to go in shoulder to shoulder. That was high drama, man.
I think the thing that is different and unusual about it for us is that because the Trump administration is using power differently and resolving issues differently, it's forcing us to cover things in ways that, like, we've never seen this before. The resolution of Mayor Adams's criminal investigation, his criminal prosecution, is a result we have never seen before. So we're having to learn on the fly how to do this. We have never seen anything like this, where the President of the United States has directly attacked a law firm and then basically done a side deal with the head of that law firm to resolve it. It's just, for us, it's like
it's all new.
It's all new because Trump is using power in new and unusual and audacious ways.
Well, you all are doing an extraordinary job covering it. All of you are. Jonathan Lemire, you are. I think the media is doing a great job covering this and explaining exactly what's happening and why this time it's different.
A very detailed report, ladies and gentlemen, and very detailed explanation. And like I said before, it's just unfortunate for the rule of law and for Paul Weiss, again, Paulweiss, to have to be going through this complete and utterly bullshit lawlessness with Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's legal breaking reporting. If you did enjoy this legal breaking reporting, please make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, as well as enjoy. A couple things you guys can do if you want to make sure that you never miss a brand new legal breaking update and legal breaking analysis reporting is 1. Hitting that bell icon that is right next to the subscribe button down below. It does not cost anything. It is right next to the subscribe button on the right hand side beneath the screen here. another way you guys can stay up to date on when I posted a brand new legal breaking analysis reporting is by following me on my social medias that I will have linked down below. I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, and Threads. There, ladies and gentlemen, you guys will be able to stay up to date and get instant updates on when I post a brand new legal breaking analysis video and reporting to the channel. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, please help me reach the overall channel goal of 150 plus subscribers. The reason why I'm saying 150 plus subscribers is because right after we reach the goal of 150 subscribers, we have more subscribers to reach and achieve. Right after we reach and achieve the goal of 150 subscribers. Until my next reporting, ladies and gentlemen, please stay safe and please stay positive and know that justice will prevail despite Donald Trump and his illegal administration's unlawful, lawlessness, illegal, wrongful, unlawful, constitutional executive orders.